Amara Collins stared at her laptop screen, watching the video call window with CEO Elliot Warren finally go dark. At least, she thought it went dark. 25 years old, 6 weeks into her first real corporate job, still learning which button actually ended a call. She slumped back in her ergonomic chair and exhaled so hard her edges moved. The 32nd floor was empty. 7:14 p.m. on a Thursday. Just her, the HVAC hum, and a vacuum cleaner 3 floors down. Her phone buzzed. Simone, how was the call with Mr. CEO? Amara, survived, barely. That man is so intense I forgot how to breathe. Simone, lol, but is he cute though? She laughed to herself. Talking alone was a habit from growing up with 4 siblings. I mean, objectively, yes, very cute, but also terrifying. And my boss's boss's boss, so that's a hard no. Her silk press was already losing to Atlanta humidity. She kept texting, besides, what would I even do? I can barely handle a second date. I'm 25, and I've never even... She stopped. Her laptop screen was still glowing. The video call window was still open. In the preview box she could see him. Elliot Warren, CEO, the man whose coffee she memorized, whose dry cleaning she picked up Tuesdays. He was still there, his green eyes looking directly at the camera. He'd heard everything. Amara's stomach dropped 32 floors. Oh no! She jabbed at keys. The window closed. Her hands shook. The empty La Croix can clattered across her desk. Amara, I have to quit my job, Simone. Amara, I'll explain later. Currently dying. She shoved everything into her bag. Different city, different state, different planet. The elevator dinged. No. Elliot Warren stepped out, still in his charcoal suit, tie gone, shirt collar open, tall, 6'2", with light brown hair slightly messed up. He saw her. She froze. Amara. His voice was calm. Mr. Warren, hi, I was just leaving. Long day. You know... She was backing toward the stairwell. The call, he said. She wanted to evaporate. I am so sorry. I thought it disconnected. I wasn't trying to... That was completely unprofessional. You don't need to apologize. That stopped her. He walked closer. For a second he looked uncertain. I should have announced I was still there. That was my fault. You're not firing me. Why would I fire you? Because I just on a work call said extremely personal. You were talking to yourself in what you believed was private. He held her gaze. I'm not in the habit of punishing people for being human. The AC hummed. A printer ran somewhere. So we're just never mentioning this again? If that's what you prefer. She nodded fast. Yes, that. Understood. But neither moved. For what it's worth, he said, voice lower, I don't think you need to overthink anything. Her breath caught. Before she could respond, he stepped into the elevator. His eyes held hers 1 more second. The doors closed. Amara stood frozen for 3 full minutes. Simone. Girl. What? Crisis. Amara. I think I just made my life very complicated. Her old 4th Ward apartment smelled like the mahogany teakwood candle her mama sent. She dropped her bag, kicked off her heels, and FaceTimed Simone. Simone appeared, bonnet on, skincare half done. Explain, now. Amara reheated Sunday dinner leftovers, Mama's mac and cheese, greens, cornbread, and told everything. Wait. Simone's eyes went wide. He heard you say you've never... He heard enough. And he said you don't need to overthink things? Simone grinned. Girl, that man is interested. He's my boss. He's a boss. And he stayed on that call, listened, then came upstairs after hours to find you. That's not polite. That's interested. Amara ate mac and cheese, considering. No, Elliot Warren was just being professional. Her phone buzzed. Work email. From Elliot Warren. Subject tomorrow. Sent 9:47 p.m. Amara, let's schedule a brief meeting tomorrow morning. 10 a.m. my office. Nothing formal. Just want to check in. E.W. She showed Simone. Simone screamed. I'm quitting, Amara said. You are not. You're going to that meeting looking cute and professional. Amara slid down her kitchen wall. I'm wearing my baggiest blazer. You're doing your edges properly. Go, hair routine now. Later, doing her hair routine, co-wash, leave-in, edge control, silk scarf, Amara stared at her reflection, deep brown skin glowing, dark brown eyes worried, curls needing moisture and prayer. It's just a meeting, she told herself. Her reflection didn't look convinced. She texted her grandma, Amara, pray for me tomorrow. Work stuff. Grandma, baby, I'm always praying. Remember, a man who respects your time is worth your time. She finished her routine, set 3 alarms, climbed into bed. Sleep didn't come easy. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw his face on that screen, the way his voice dropped. You don't need to overthink anything. She was definitely overthinking. Amara arrived at the office at 8:47 a.m. She'd changed outfits 4 times, settled on a navy blouse and tailored black pants that said, professional but not trying too hard. Her hair was in a high puff. Wash day had cooperated for once, curls defined and moisturized. She'd also slept maybe 3 hours total. At 9:58 a.m. she stood outside Elliot's office, clutching her tablet like a shield. Bryn, his actual assistant, a woman in her 50s who'd been with Warren Strategic since day one, looked up from her desk and smiled. You can go in, honey. He's expecting you. Amara knocked twice. Come in. She stepped into an office that was somehow both massive and minimal. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked Midtown. His desk was pristine, laptop, single notebook, and a coffee mug that said, I survived law school and all I got was crippling debt. The mug made her want to laugh. Elliot stood when she entered. No suit jacket today, just a white button-down, sleeves rolled to his forearms. He looked different, less CEO, more human. Amara, thanks for coming. He gestured to the sitting area by the windows. 2 chairs, a low table. Coffee? I'm okay. Thank you. They sat. The silence stretched for 3 seconds too long. He cleared his throat. I wanted to make sure we're on the same page after yesterday. Absolutely. Same page. Very much the same page. She was talking too fast. Elliot's mouth twitched, almost a smile. I don't want you to feel uncomfortable, or like you need to avoid me, or quit, which I'm guessing crossed your mind. Her face got hot, maybe briefly. I'd prefer you didn't. Noted. Another pause. He was looking at her like he was trying to figure something out. It made her heart do something complicated. Can I ask you something? His voice was quieter now. Sure. Do you like working here? The question surprised her. Yes, I mean, it's a lot. I'm still learning, but yes. What do you want to do? Long term. No one had asked her that since her interview. I want to move into strategy. Corporate development, maybe. I studied economics and business at Spelman. I'm good with data, patterns, seeing how pieces fit together. He nodded slowly. Why'd you take an assistant position? Because no one hires 25-year-olds with no corporate experience for strategy roles. She said it without bitterness, just fact. Fair point. He leaned forward slightly, elbows on his knees. What if I told you I think you're being underutilized? Her brain stuttered. What? I've seen your work. The briefing notes you put together for the Cascade deal last week were better than what some of my analysts produce. You see connections other people miss. Amara didn't know what to do with that information. I'd like to give you more project-based work, Elliot continued. Still assist Bryn when needed, but also shadow some strategy meetings. See if it's actually what you want. Are you serious? I don't joke about work. She believed him. Why? Because you're good at it. And because... He stopped, ran a hand through his hair. The gesture was so unexpectedly uncertain that she forgot to be nervous for a second. Because I don't want you to leave. The air in the office felt thinner. Okay, Amara said quietly. I'd like that. Good. He stood, and she did too. We'll start Monday. There's a development project I want your input on. She nodded, still processing. They were standing close now. Closer than professional distance required. She could smell his cologne, something clean, expensive, understated. Amara. His voice was lower now. About what you said yesterday, on the call. Her stomach dropped. We said we weren't going to... I know, but I need you to understand something. He held her gaze. I'm not interested in making you uncomfortable or crossing lines, but I also... He stopped himself. I think we should keep things professional. It should have been a relief. It felt like disappointment. Of course, she said quickly. Absolutely. Professional. Good. But neither of them moved. His phone buzzed on the desk. The spell broke. I should... Amara gestured toward the door. Right. Yes. Thank you for coming in. She walked to the door. Hand on the handle. Amara? She turned. He was still standing by the windows, backlit by morning sun. For the record, I meant what I said yesterday. You don't need to overthink anything. Before she could respond, Bryn knocked and opened the door. Elliot, Ragnar's here for your 10:30. The moment dissolved. Amara slipped out, past Bryn, into the hallway where she could finally breathe. Ragnar Hale walked into Elliot's office and immediately smirked. What? Elliot asked, already annoyed. You look like someone who just made a terrible decision. Ragnar dropped into the chair Amara had vacated. He was Elliot's COO, best friend since law school, and the only person who could get away with being this direct. I offered her strategy work. And nothing. Ragnar's smirk widened. You stayed on that call yesterday, didn't you, when she thought you'd hung up? Elliot didn't answer. You did. Oh, this is incredible. Ragnar leaned back, clearly enjoying himself. Elliot Warren, commitment phobe extraordinaire, heard something he wasn't supposed to hear, and now he's... What? Offering career advancement as foreplay. Get out of my office. You like her. I respect her work. You never stay late to check on employees' feelings. She was clearly distressed. You never look distressed about being around women, but you looked distressed just now. Elliot shot him a look that would make most people leave immediately. Ragnar just laughed. Man, you're in trouble. I'm handling it professionally. Sure you are, that's why you're standing there looking like someone stole your favorite toy. Ragnar stood, still grinning. For what it's worth, she seems great, smart, real, not impressed by the money or the title. Exactly why nothing's going to happen. Keep telling yourself that. After Ragnar left, Elliot stood at his window, looking out at the city. He'd meant every word. Professional boundaries, appropriate distance. But when she'd looked at him with those dark brown eyes, surprised that he'd noticed her work, surprised that he saw her, he was in trouble. Ragnar was right. He just wasn't ready to admit it yet. The strategy project turned out to be an acquisition analysis for a tech startup in Austin. Amara spent Monday buried in financial models, market research and competitive analysis. By 9 p.m., she was the only one left on her floor. Again. She didn't mind. The work was exactly what she'd wanted. Complex, challenging, requiring her to think 3 steps ahead. Her desk was covered in printouts, sticky notes, and her third empty coffee cup. You're still here. She jumped. Elliot stood at the edge of her cubicle, tie gone, shirt sleeves rolled up. He looked tired. Not in a bad way, in a human way that made him seem less like a CEO and more like a person who'd also been working for 12 hours straight. I wanted to finish the market comp section, Amara said, gesturing at her screen. It's 9:15. I know, I'm almost done. He walked closer, looking at her notes spread across the desk. Can I see what you have so far? She pulled up the document. He leaned over her shoulder to read, close enough that she could smell his cologne again. Her concentration went sideways. He scrolled through her analysis, quiet. She held her breath. This is good, he said finally. Really good. Your risk assessment here. He pointed at the screen. That's the exact concern I had but couldn't articulate. Thank you. He straightened up, ran a hand through his hair. Have you eaten? The question surprised her. I had a protein bar around 6. That's not food. It had 17 grams of protein. The package said so. His mouth twitched, almost a smile. There's a Waffle House on Ponce, open 24 hours. Terrible for you. But, he shrugged, better than protein bars. Amara blinked. Are you asking me to go to Waffle House with you? I'm suggesting we both need actual food, and I have some questions about your analysis that would be easier to discuss over waffles than standing in a cubicle at 9 p.m. It was work, just work, a work dinner at Waffle House at 9 p.m. with her CEO. Okay, she heard herself say. The Waffle House was exactly what every Waffle House was. Bright fluorescent lights, checkered floor, the smell of hash browns and coffee that had been sitting too long. They slid into a booth. A waitress appeared immediately. "Hey, sugar, what can I get you?" Elliot looked at Amara. "You order first." "Pecan waffle, scattered smothered covered hash browns, and coffee, please." "Make that too," Elliot said. The waitress left. Elliot looked around the restaurant like he'd never been to a Waffle House before. "You've been here before, right?" Amara asked. "Honestly? No." She laughed. "How have you lived in Atlanta for how long?" 15 years. 15 years and never been to Waffle House? That's criminal. "I usually eat at—" He stopped himself. "Places with actual tablecloths. I was going to say places with menus that don't laminate." She grinned. "You're missing out. Waffle House at 2 a.m. after a long day is an Atlanta rite of passage. It's 9:30. Close enough." Their coffee arrived. She watched him take a sip and try not to react to how bad it was. "It's terrible, isn't it?" she said. "It's bold. It's been sitting since this morning, but that's part of the experience." She added 2 sugars and cream to hers. "So, questions about my analysis?" For the next 20 minutes, they talked about the acquisition. He challenged her assumptions. She defended her reasoning. He asked follow-up questions that made her think harder, sharper. It didn't feel like work. It felt like conversation, the kind where both people were actually listening. Their food arrived. Amara watched Elliot look at his hash browns like he wasn't sure what to do with them. "Just eat them," she said. "Don't think. Just eat." He took a bite. His eyebrows went up. "See?" She was trying not to laugh. "Okay, I understand the appeal." They ate in comfortable silence for a minute. The restaurant hummed around them. Other late-night diners, the grill sizzling, somebody playing Dolly Parton on the jukebox. "Can I ask you something?" Elliot said. "Sure." "What you said on that call, about overthinking." He wasn't looking at her now, focused on his coffee cup. "Do you really do that, overthink everything?" She hadn't expected that question. "Yeah, I do. Always have." "Why?" "Because—" She considered how honest to be. "Because I'm usually the youngest person in the room, the least experienced. I'm always worried I'm going to say something wrong or do something that makes people not take me seriously." "People take you seriously." "You do, not everyone does." He looked up at her then. Their loss. Her heart did that complicated thing again. "What about you?" she asked, deflecting. "Do you ever overthink things?" "Constantly." That surprised her. "You don't seem like someone who overthinks anything." "I'm good at hiding it." He leaned back in the booth. "I overthink every decision, every meeting, every word in every email. I just don't let people see it." "Why not?" "Because CEOs aren't supposed to be uncertain. We're supposed to have all the answers." "That sounds exhausting." "It is." The honesty in his voice made something shift between them. They weren't boss and employee right now. They were just 2 people who stayed late at work and ended up at Waffle House talking about things that mattered. "For the record," Amara said quietly, "I think it's okay to not have all the answers." He smiled. "A real one this time. I'll try to remember that." They finished eating. He insisted on paying. She didn't fight him on it. In the parking lot, standing by their cars, he said, "Thank you for dinner and the conversation." "Thank you for the terrible coffee and excellent hash browns." He laughed, actually laughed, and the sound did something to her chest. "See you tomorrow," she said. Tomorrow. She drove home with the windows down, Atlanta's humid night air messing up her edges, and couldn't stop smiling. Her phone buzzed at a red light. "Simone, you better tell me everything tomorrow, Amara." "How do you always know, Simone? Because you're texting me at 10:30 p.m. on a Monday with that energy." "Simone," Spill Amara laughed and typed back, "Waffle House." "I'll explain tomorrow, Simone." "Waffle House." "Simone." Oh, you're in deep. Maybe she was. Baby, pass me the cornbread. Amara handed the basket to her mother across the table. Sunday dinner at her parents' house in Cascade was non-negotiable. Every week, no excuses. Her dad sat at the head of the table, her mama to his right, her grandmother, Nana, next to her. Her brother Dominic was late, as usual. So, her mama said, cutting into her fried chicken with surgical precision, how's that fancy job downtown? It's good, mama. Just good. Really good. I'm doing actual strategy work now. Analysis, market research. My boss... She stopped herself. Nana looked up, eyes sharp. Your boss, what? He's been giving me more responsibility. Uh-huh. Her mama exchanged a look with Nana. That look. The one that meant they knew something she wasn't saying. The front door opened. Dominic walked in, still in his scrubs from his shift at Grady Hospital. Sorry, I'm late. Trauma case ran long. He kissed their mama's cheek, nodded at their dad, and slid into the chair across from Amara. What did I miss? Amara was just telling us about her boss, Nana said sweetly. Dominic grinned. The CEO. The one you accidentally... Dom. Amara's voice was sharp. What? I'm just saying that's a great story. Very rom-com. Their mama's fork stopped mid-air. What story? Amara was going to kill her brother. Nothing. It's nothing. Amara Destiny Collins. Her mama used the full name. Never good. What happened with your boss? There was no escaping Sunday dinner interrogation. She told them. The call. The confession. The meeting. The Waffle House dinner. She left out the part about how she couldn't stop thinking about him, or how her heart did weird things when he smiled, or how last Thursday he'd brought her coffee, the good kind from that place in Buckhead, without her asking. When she finished, the table was silent. Her dad spoke first. He treating you with respect? Yes, Daddy. Completely. He's not using his position to... No, I promise, he's been nothing but professional. Dominic snorted. Professional, sure. What's that supposed to mean? It means, her brother said, reaching for the mac and cheese, that men don't bring women coffee for professional reasons. He brings Bryn coffee too. Does he stay late to have dinner with Bryn at Waffle House? Amara didn't have an answer for that. Nana patted her hand. Baby, let me tell you something. A man who pays attention, real attention, to what you need before you ask for it. That's a man who's interested. The question is, are you? Was she? She'd been avoiding that question for 2 weeks. I don't know, Nana. He's my boss. He's older. He's... White, her mama said plainly. The word sat on the table like an uninvited guest. That's not the issue. I'm not saying it's an issue, her mama said carefully. I'm saying it's something to be aware of. Not all white men know how to love black women the right way. Some of them think we're... She paused, searching for words. A curiosity. Something different to try. He's not like that. You sure? Amara thought about the way Elliot looked at her, really looked at her. Like he was trying to understand, not just observe, like she mattered beyond what she could do for him. Yeah, she said quietly. I'm sure. Her dad nodded slowly. Then the question is what you want, baby girl, not what he wants, not what we think. What do you want? That was the problem. She didn't know. Later, washing dishes with Nana while everyone else watched the game in the living room, her grandmother said, You know what I see when I look at you lately? What? Someone who's afraid to want something good. Amara's hands stilled in the soapy water. You've always been like that, Nana continued, drying a plate. Even when you were little. Always worried about asking for too much, about taking up space, about whether you deserve good things. I'm not... Yes, you are. And I'm telling you right now, baby, you deserve a man who sees you, really sees you. And if this man does that, don't talk yourself out of it just because you're scared. What if it doesn't work out? What if it does? Nana kissed her forehead and walked back to the living room, leaving Amara alone with the dishes and a question she wasn't ready to answer. Her phone buzzed on the counter. Elliot, hope you're having a good Sunday. Just that. Nothing else. She stared at the message for a full minute, then typed, At my parents' house. Sunday dinner is mandatory in my family. 3 dots appeared. disappeared, appeared again. Elliot. That sounds nice. I can't remember the last time I had family dinner. Amara. You should come sometime. She sent it before she could overthink. The dots appeared immediately. Elliot. I'd like that. Her heart was racing. Elliot. But fair warning. I'm terrible at making good first impressions on parents. Amara. My dad will interrogate you. My brother will roast you. My mama will judge your plate-making skills. And my nana will ask if you're serious about me. She sent it, then panicked. That was too much, too honest, too... Elliot. When can I meet them? Amara set her phone down, pressed her hands against the counter, and tried to remember how to breathe. From the living room, she heard her brother yell at the TV about a bad call. Her mama laughed at something her dad said. Nana was probably already planning what to cook when Elliot came over. And Amara realized, somewhere between Waffle House hash browns and Sunday dinner dishes, she'd stopped overthinking. She picked up her phone. Amara, next Sunday, 3 p.m. Don't be late, and bring your appetite. Elliot, I'll be there. She smiled at her phone like a woman who knew she was in trouble and didn't care anymore. Nana appeared in the doorway, saw her face and smiled knowingly. There she is, Nana said softly. There who is? The girl who's ready to want something good. Maybe she was. Elliot arrived at 2:53 p.m., 7 minutes early, holding flowers for her mother and a pecan pie from a bakery in Buckhead that Ragnar had sworn by. Amara opened the door before he could knock. Hi. Hi. He looked nervous. Actually nervous. Elliot Warren, who'd pitched to Fortune 500 boards without breaking a sweat, looked like he was about to face a firing squad. You brought pie. Ragnar said never show up empty-handed to a black family's house. His exact words were, bring dessert or prepare for judgment. She laughed. He's not wrong. Come in. Her parents' house smelled like Sunday. Fried chicken, collard greens, cornbread, something sweet baking. Her mama appeared from the kitchen, wiping her hands on a towel. Mama, this is Elliot Warren. Elliot, this is my mother, Patricia Collins. Mrs. Collins. Elliot extended his hand with the flowers. Thank you for having me. Her mama took the flowers, examining them with the thoroughness of a gemologist. Roses, good ones. These are lovely. Amara, put these in water. Elliot, come on back. Everybody's in the living room. Amara watched her mama lead Elliot away like a lamb to slaughter. This was either going to go very well or very badly. Her dad was in his armchair watching the Falcons pregame. Dominic sat on the couch, still in his I'm judging you position. Nana was in her spot by the window, crocheting and pretending not to be listening to everything. Daddy, Dom, Nana, this is Elliot. Her dad stood, shook Elliot's hand with that grip that said, I'm evaluating your character through your handshake. Gerald Collins, have a seat, son. Thank you, sir. Dominic just nodded. Dom, I'm the brother, the protective one. Nice to meet you. Nana looked up from her crocheting. Baby, come give Nana some sugar. Elliot crossed the room, let her pat his cheek. You're a tall one. Got good teeth. That's important. Nana, Amara said weakly. What? I'm just observing. Dinner was simultaneously the best and most stressful hour of Amara's life. Her mama had outdone herself. Fried chicken, mac and cheese, collard greens, cornbread, candied yams, potato salad. The table was packed. Elliot sat across from Dominic next to Amara. So, Elliot, her dad started, passing the greens, Amara tells us you run a financial strategy firm. Yes, sir. We do corporate development and M&A advisory. Mergers and acquisitions. Her dad nodded. That's high-pressure work. It can be. But I have a good team, including my daughter. Especially your daughter. She's been instrumental on our recent projects. Dominic cut in. How long have you been interested in my sister? Dom, Amara started. It's okay. Elliot set down his fork. Honestly, since the day she started, but I didn't act on it because she works for me, and I didn't want to cross professional boundaries. The dinner at Waffle House 2 weeks ago was the first time we spent time together outside of work. Amara's face got hot. Her mama raised an eyebrow. And what changed? She did. She challenged me on an analysis, told me my risk assessment was incomplete, and she was right. I realized I'd been so focused on keeping things professional that I wasn't being honest, with myself or with her. The table went quiet. Nana smiled into her sweet tea. "You ever been married?" her dad asked. "No, sir." "Why not?" "I was focused on building the business, and—" He glanced at Amara. "I hadn't met anyone who made me want to slow down." "Until now," Nana said. It wasn't a question. "Until now." Amara forgot how to breathe. Her mama passed him the mac and cheese. "You season your food." "Elliot, yes?" "Good. Can't trust a man who don't season." She said it completely seriously. Dominic snorted into his water. After dinner, while the women cleared the table, her mama's rule, no arguments, the men went to the living room for the game. "He's doing okay," Nana said, scraping plates. "He's terrified," Amara said. "Good. He should be." Her mama smiled. "But he's sincere. I'll give him that. And he looks at you like you're the only person in the room." "Mama." "What?" "I got eyes. That man is serious about you." Amara's heart was doing complicated things again. From the living room, she heard her dad ask Elliot about the business, about his plans, about whether he understood what it meant to date his daughter. Dominic was probably adding his own interrogation. She was about to rescue him when Nana stopped her. "Let them finish. This is important." When Elliot emerged 20 minutes later, he looked relieved, but exhausted. "How bad?" Amara asked quietly. "Your dad asked me about my long-term intentions. Your brother asked if I knew what I was doing, and your Nana asked when we're getting married." "She did not." "She did. I told her I'm taking it one Sunday dinner at a time." Amara laughed, the tension breaking. At the door saying goodbye, her mama hugged him. Actually, hugged him. "You're welcome back anytime. And Elliot, don't hurt my daughter." "I won't, I promise." In the driveway, walking him to his car, Amara said, "I'm sorry they grilled you." "Don't be. They love you. That's—" He stopped, looked at her house, then back at her. "That's really beautiful. So you survived." "Barely, but I'd do it again." "Next Sunday?" He smiled, that real smile she was learning to recognize. "Next Sunday." He reached for her hand, hesitated. "Can I?" She nodded. His hand was warm around hers, steady. "Sure." "Thank you," he said quietly, "for letting me in." She squeezed his hand. "Thank you for showing up." He left. She watched his car disappear down the street. When she went back inside, her entire family was at the window. "Y'all are not subtle." "We don't need to be subtle," her mama said. "That's a good man, baby. Scared out of his mind, but good." Nana patted her cheek. "Told you. A man who respects your time is worth your time." Maybe he was. They'd fallen into a rhythm. Coffee in the mornings before everyone else arrived. Late nights finishing projects. Sunday dinners with her family. Elliot had been back twice, and her mama now set a place for him automatically. But they hadn't defined what this was. Not officially. Friday evening, Elliot texted her at 5:47 p.m. "Elliot, walk in the park. Need to clear my head after today." Amara, "Piedmont?" Elliot, "I'll pick you up in 20. Piedmont Park was perfect in early October. The heat had finally broken. People were out. Joggers, families, couples walking dogs. The Beltline was packed with the after-work crowd. They walked the path near the lake, not touching but close enough that their arms brushed occasionally. "Rough day?" Amara asked. "Board meeting. They want to push the Austin acquisition faster than I think we should." "What do you think we should do?" He glanced at her, smiled. "I love that you said we. I did the analysis. I'm invested. Your analysis was the only thing that kept me from agreeing to their timeline. You saw the operational risks they were ignoring." They reached a bench overlooking the lake, sat down. The sun was starting to set, painting everything gold and pink. "Can I ask you something?" Elliot said. "Always." "Are you happy?" The question surprised her. "Right now?" "In general, with—" He gestured between them. "This. Whatever this is." Her heart picked up speed. "Are you?" "I asked first." She thought about it. Really thought about it. Yeah, I am. But I'm also scared. How do you know? Because I'm terrified. He said it so simply, like it was a fact, not a confession. I'm 37 years old. I've built a company, closed million-dollar deals, negotiated with some of the toughest people in finance, and I'm terrified of screwing this up. Amara turned to face him. Why would you screw it up? Because I don't know how to do this, the real stuff. He ran a hand through his hair. Everyone I've dated before, it was easy, surface level. We'd go to nice restaurants, say nice things, and eventually it would end because neither of us really cared that much. And this isn't surface level. No, this is... He looked at her, and the vulnerability in his eyes made her chest tight. This is the first time I've wanted to know everything. What you think about when you can't sleep. What your favorite song was in high school. Why you chose economics. What makes you laugh when you're alone. She couldn't breathe. And that terrifies me, he continued. Because what if I mess it up? What if I move too fast or too slow or say the wrong thing? What if I'm not... He stopped himself. Not what? What you need. The honesty in his voice broke something open in her chest. Elliot. She reached for his hand. He let her take it. You think I'm not terrified? I'm 25. You're the first man I've ever... She stopped, face heating. The first man I've felt like this about. I don't know what I'm doing either. You always seem like you know exactly what you're doing. I'm faking it, constantly. He laughed, soft and surprised. So we're both just making it up as we go? Yeah. They sat there, hands linked, watching the sun sink lower. I need to tell you something, Elliot said quietly. Her stomach dropped. Okay. I don't want to rush you into anything, I know. He hesitated. I know you've never, and I need you to know that I'm okay with waiting, for however long you need. I'm not, this isn't about that for me. She understood what he was saying, what he wasn't saying. What is it about? She asked softly. You, just you, getting to know you, being near you, hearing you laugh, watching you work through a problem, all of it. Her eyes stung. I don't want you to feel pressure, he continued, from me or from whatever this is turning into. We can go as slow as you want. I just need you to know that I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere. A jogger passed. Someone's dog barked in the distance. The world kept moving around them, but Amara felt suspended. Can I tell you something? She said. Anything. I've been overthinking this for weeks, wondering if I'm ready, if I'm enough, if I'm going to disappoint you. But right now, sitting here, I'm not overthinking anymore. No? No. Because you just told me exactly what I needed to hear. That it's okay to not have it figured out. That we can just be together at whatever pace feels right. He squeezed her hand. So, what does feel right? She leaned her head against his shoulder, felt him exhale, relaxing into the contact. This, she said, this feels right. They sat there until the sun set completely, until the park lights came on, until the joggers thinned out and the evening crowd took over. When he drove her home, he walked her to her door. Thank you, he said, for today, for being patient with me. You're being patient with me. We're being patient with each other. How about that? She smiled. I like that better. He reached up, tucked a curl behind her ear. His hand lingered near her face. I really want to kiss you right now, he said quietly. Her breath caught. Why don't you? Because when I kiss you, I want you to be sure, completely sure, not caught up in a moment, but certain that this is what you want. He was killing her in the best way possible. Soon? She asked. Whenever you're ready. He squeezed her hand one more time and left. Amara stood at her door watching him drive away and realized something. She was falling in love with him. Maybe she already had. It happened on a Wednesday, 3 weeks after Piedmont Park, 3 weeks of coffee mornings and late-night work sessions and Sunday dinners, where Elliot now helped her mama set the table without being asked. 3 weeks of almost kisses that never quite happened because he was waiting for her to be ready. 3 weeks of Amara falling deeper and not knowing how to tell him, until Wednesday, when everything shifted. She was at her desk at 8 p.m., reviewing a contract for the Austin deal. The office was empty except for the security guard downstairs and the hum of the building at rest. Elliot appeared at her cubicle. "You're still here." She looked up. He'd lost the tie, shirt sleeves rolled up, hair slightly messy like he'd been running his hands through it. He looked tired and stressed and beautiful, and she was in so much trouble. "Last contract revision. I wanted to finish before tomorrow's meeting. You're too dedicated for your own good. Learned from the best." He smiled, that real smile she'd learned to recognize. Then his expression shifted to something more serious. "Can we talk? In my office?" Her stomach flipped. "Of course." His office was dim. He hadn't turned on all the lights. Just the desk lamp, casting shadows that made the space feel smaller, more intimate. "I need to tell you something," he said, leaning against his desk. "And I need you to be honest with me about how you feel." Her heart was racing. "Okay." "The board approved the Austin acquisition. We're closing in 2 weeks." "That's good news. Your timeline was right." "There's a catch. They want me in Austin for 6 months. Overseeing integration, building the team, making sure it's smooth. 6 months. The words landed like a weight. "Oh, I told them I'd think about it. But Amara," he ran a hand through his hair, "I need to know what this is between us, because 6 months apart when we're still figuring things out, that's a lot." "Yeah." She stood, walked to the window. The city lights blurred. She could see both their reflections in the glass. "What do you want it to be?" she asked quietly. "I want—" He stopped. Started again. "I want you. Officially. Not just stolen moments and Sunday dinners and pretending we're taking it slow when all I think about is you." Her breath caught. "But I don't want to rush you," he continued. "I don't want you to feel like you have to decide right now because of Austin. That's not fair to you." She turned to face him. He looked vulnerable and certain all at once. "Can I tell you something?" she said. "Anything. I'm not ready." The words hung between them. His face didn't change, but she saw the disappointment flicker in his eyes. "I don't mean—" She stepped closer. "I don't mean I'm not ready for you. I'm not ready for—" She gestured helplessly. "Everyone knowing. The office gossip. Being the CEO's girlfriend, instead of Amara, who earned her spot in strategy. I'm not ready to have people question whether I deserve my job, or if I'm just here because we're together," he finished softly. "Yeah." He was quiet for a long moment. Then he nodded. "Okay." "Okay? You're right. I wasn't thinking about that part, about what it would cost you." He pushed off the desk, came closer. "So what do you need?" "Time. To prove myself first. To make sure that when people know about us, there's no question about whether I earned my place here." "There's already no question, Amara. You're brilliant." "You know that. I know that. But everyone else—" She shook her head. "I just need a little more time." "How much time?" "I don't know. A few months, until the Austin deal closes and I can point to my work on it as proof that I'm here because I belong, not because you're with me." "Yeah." He reached for her hand. She let him take it. "I can wait," he said. "I told you that. I meant it." "Even if you're in Austin for 6 months?" "Especially then. Because when we do this, when we're officially together, I want to be here. Not halfway across the country trying to make it work over video calls." She squeezed his hand. "So what does that mean?" "It means I tell the board I need someone else to handle Austin, or I do it remotely, or—" He smiled slightly. "Or I figure it out, because losing you isn't an option." Her chest ached. "Elliot." "What?" "You can't turn down a major business move for me. That's not fair, reasonable." He pulled her closer. "Amara, listen to me. I've spent 15 years building this company, making deals, putting business first. And you know what? I'm tired. I'm tired of business being the only thing that matters. I'm tired of going home to an empty apartment and pretending that's enough. I'm tired of being alone, she finished. Yeah. They stood there, hands linked, the city glowing behind them. What if we do this? She said slowly. You go to Austin, but just for 2 months instead of 6. You come back every other weekend. We talk every day. And when you come back, when the deal is closed and my work speaks for itself, we stop hiding. 2 months. 2 months. I can prove myself in 2 months. And you can close the deal without worrying about me. He studied her face. You're sure? I'm sure that I want this. Us. I'm just not ready for the spotlight yet. But I will be. I promise. He pulled her into a hug. She wrapped her arms around him, breathed in his cologne, felt his heart beating against hers. 2 months, he murmured into her hair. I can do 2 months. And then I'm taking you on a real date. Not Waffle House, somewhere nice, where I can tell everyone there that you're mine. She smiled against his chest. I'd like that. Me too. They stood there until the security guard's footsteps echoed down the hall until reality reminded them where they were. At her car, he kissed her forehead, lingering, tender. 2 months, he said. 2 months, she agreed. Week 7 without him felt longer than the first 6 combined. Amara sat at her desk, Elliot's desk now, temporarily, reviewing the quarterly reports. He'd asked her to cover some of his Atlanta responsibilities while he was in Austin. Ragnar had raised an eyebrow at that but said nothing. Everyone was saying nothing, which somehow felt louder than if they'd just asked. Her phone buzzed. Elliot, how's the Carter meeting looking for tomorrow? Amara, solid. I have the deck ready. Ragnar's reviewing it now. Elliot, you're going to kill it. Amara, easy for you to say. You're not the one presenting to Carter. Elliot, you've presented to me. Carter's easier. She smiled at her phone like a lovesick teenager. Amara, I miss you. She typed it, stared at it, almost deleted it, sent it. 3 dots appeared immediately. Elliot, I miss you too. So much it's embarrassing. Elliot, Ragnar asked me yesterday if I was okay because I was staring at my phone during a meeting. Amara, what were you staring at? Elliot, a photo of you at Sunday dinner, the one where you're laughing at something your nana said. Her heart squeezed. Amara, that's very smooth, Mr. Warren. Elliot, I have my moments. Elliot, call me tonight. Amara, always. The video call came at 10:47 p.m. She was already in bed, bonnet on, face washed, ready to pretend she hadn't been waiting by her phone for 20 minutes. His face filled her screen. He was in his Austin apartment, bland, corporate, temporary. He looked tired but happy to see her. Hi. Hi yourself. She adjusted her pillows. How was your day? Long? The integration team is dragging their feet on the tech migration. How was the Carter meeting? He signed. 3-year contract. Elliot's face lit up. Amara, that's incredible. I used your strategy, the one you taught me about finding the hidden objection. You executed it, that's all you. She loved that he always did that. Gave her credit, pushed her forward. Never took what was hers. Tell me something good, he said, settling back against his headboard. I need to hear your voice talk about something that isn't work. Simone got engaged. The best friend. Yeah, her boyfriend proposed at the Beltline. Very public, very her. She cried for 20 minutes. That's great. Are you in the wedding? Maid of honor, which means I have to plan a bachelorette party and give a speech and... She stopped. Sorry, I'm rambling. Don't apologize. I love hearing you ramble. Tell me about the bachelorette party. So she did, and he listened. Really listened. Asked questions. Made her laugh about Simone's probably terrible Pinterest board ideas. When she finished, he said, I'm coming home this weekend. You are? I miss you, and your mama texted me asking where I was last Sunday. I think she's adopted me. Amara laughed. She asks about you every dinner. Nana, too. What do you tell them? That you're in Austin, working hard, coming back soon. Do you tell them you miss me? I don't have to. They know. His expression softened. 1 more week. Then I'm back for good. I know. And then we stop hiding. I know that too. Are you nervous? She thought about it. A little. But also ready. I proved myself on the Carter deal. The team respects my work. When people find out about us, they'll know I earned my place first. They already knew that, Amara. Maybe, but I needed to know it. He nodded slowly. I'm proud of you. You know that, right? Her eyes stung. Yeah, I know. Good, because you're extraordinary. Elliot, I mean it. And when I get back, I'm taking you out properly. Somewhere nice, where I can look at you across the table and not have to hide how I feel. How do you feel? The question came out before she could stop it. He was quiet for a moment. Then, like I've been waiting my whole life to find you, and now that I have, 2 months feels like 2 years. She couldn't breathe. Amara? Yeah? I'm falling in love with you. I might already be there. I wanted you to know. Before I come back. Before we do this officially. Tears spilled over. Happy ones. I'm already there, she whispered. I've been there since Piedmont Park. Maybe before. His smile was devastating. Yeah? Yeah. Say it, please. I need to hear you say it. I love you, Elliot Warren. I love you too, Amara Collins. They stared at each other through the screen, grinning like idiots. 1 week, he said. 1 week. And then I'm never leaving you again. Big promise. I'm a man who keeps his promises. She believed him. Saturday, 3:47 p.m. Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. Amara stood at arrivals, fidgeting with her jacket. His flight had landed 10 minutes ago. He'd texted from the gate, and then she saw him. Tall, rumpled from travel, pulling a carry-on behind him. His eyes scanned the crowd until they found her. His face broke into that smile, the real one, just for her. She didn't run, but she walked fast. He dropped his bag. She walked straight into his arms. He held her like he'd been holding his breath for 8 weeks and could finally exhale. Hi, he murmured into her hair. Hi, I love you. I love you too. He pulled back just enough to look at her face. His hand cupped her cheek, thumb brushing away a tear she hadn't realized had fallen. Can I kiss you now? He asked softly. Are you ready? She nodded. He leaned in slowly, giving her every chance to pull away. She didn't. His lips met hers, gentle and sure and worth every second of waiting. When they pulled apart, she was smiling so hard her face hurt. That was worth it, he finished. So worth it. He kissed her forehead, her nose, her lips again, quick and sweet. Let's go home, he said. Home? Wherever you are, that's home. She took his hand. Let's go. They walked out of the airport together, fingers linked, no longer hiding. 2 weeks until everyone knew. But right now, in this moment, it was just them. And that was enough. Amara walked into the office Monday morning holding Elliot's hand, not hiding, not letting go at the elevator, just together. The reception area went quiet. Bryn looked up from her desk, saw them, and smiled like she'd been waiting months for this exact moment. Good morning, you two. Morning, Bryn, Elliot said easily. Amara's heart was pounding, but his hand was steady in hers. They walked to the elevator, pressed the button, waited. Behind them she could hear the whispers starting. Are they? Oh my God. The elevator doors opened. They stepped inside. As the doors closed, Elliot squeezed her hand. You okay? Terrified. Want to go back down and pretend we're not together? She laughed despite her nerves. No. Good. Because I'm done pretending. The doors opened on 32. Half the strategy team was already there, coffee in hand, morning small talk happening. Everything stopped when they walked out, together, still holding hands. Ragnar was at the coffee station. He took one look at them and grinned. Finally. Do you know how exhausting it's been watching you two pretend? You knew, Amara asked. Everyone knew. We were just waiting for you to admit it. He raised his coffee mug. Congratulations. You're officially the worst-kept secret in this office. The tension broke. People started moving again, talking again. A few smiled at them, A few looked surprised but not scandalized. No one looked at Amara like she didn't belong. "See?" Elliot murmured. "Told you. Don't gloat." "I'm not gloating. I'm being supportive." "You're gloating." He kissed her temple, right there, in front of everyone. "Maybe a little." By lunch, the news had spread through the entire company. Amara's phone was flooded with texts. "Simone, girl, I saw it on LinkedIn. Someone posted about you two." Simone, "Why didn't you tell me you were going public today?" Amara, "It was time and we wanted to just be normal, stop hiding." Simone, "I'm so proud of you." Simone, "Also tell him if he hurts you, I know where he lives." Amara, "He knows. Dom already gave him that speech." Simone, "Good. That's what family's for." Her mama texted too. "About time. Bring him to dinner Sunday. We'll celebrate properly." Even Nana weighed in. "That's my grandbaby. Living her truth. Love you, sweet girl." At 6 p.m., Elliot knocked on her cubicle. "Ready?" "For what?" "Our first official date, as a couple, where everyone can see us." She saved her work. "Where are we going?" "You'll see." The restaurant was in Buckhead. Not too fancy, but nice. The kind of place where the lighting was soft and the tables had actual tablecloths, and the menu didn't have prices that made her nervous. They sat across from each other. No hiding. No pretending they were just colleagues discussing work. "How are you feeling?" he asked after they ordered. "Good. Relieved, actually. I thought it would be worse." "Worse how?" "I thought people would look at me differently, like I didn't earn my place, but—" She shook her head. "No one did. Ragnar congratulated us. The strategy team was happy. Even Jenkins from finance just said, 'About time.' Because they know you earned your place. They've seen your work." "I needed to see it too." She reached across the table. He met her halfway, fingers linking. "Thank you for waiting, for letting me do this my way. I'd wait forever for you." "That's very dramatic." "I'm a dramatic person." "No, you're not. I am about you." Their food arrived. They ate and talked about everything. His plans for the Austin office now that the deal was closed, her ideas for the next project, Simone's wedding planning chaos, whether they should get Nana a birthday present together or separately. Normal couple things. It felt right. After dinner, walking to his car, she said, "Can I ask you something?" "Always." "When did you know that you wanted this?" "Us." He was quiet for a moment, thinking. "That first call when I heard you talking to yourself." "The disaster call?" "Yeah. You were so honest, unfiltered, real. And I thought, I want to know this person, not the professional version who's careful with every word. The real Amara who talks to herself and overthinks everything and is braver than she thinks she is." Her throat was tight. "That's true, it's all true." He opened her car door. "What about you? When did you know?" "Waffle House, when you admitted you overthink everything too. When you let me see that you're not just the perfect CEO, you're human, messy, real. Messy is generous. You're messy in the best way." He kissed her. Right there in the parking lot, under the Buckhead streetlights. With people walking past and not caring. When they pulled apart, she was smiling. "What?" he asked. I'm happy. Is that okay to say?" "It's more than okay. I spent so long being scared of this, of us, of what people would think, and now it's just easy. It should be easy. When it's right, it's easy." They drove back to her apartment. He walked her to her door like he always did. "Want to come in?" she asked. "You sure?" "I'm sure." He followed her inside. They sat on her couch, her head on his shoulder, his arm around her. "I love you," she said quietly. "I love you too." "Think we can do this? For real? Long term?" "I think we already are." She looked up at him. He was right. Somewhere between a conference call confession and Sunday dinner and Waffle House hash browns and 3 months of missing each other, they'd built something real, something that lasted. "Stay," she said. "You sure?" "I'm sure about you. I'm sure about us. I'm sure about everything." He kissed her forehead. "Then I'll stay." And he did. "You're overthinking again." Amara looked up from her laptop. Elliot was standing in her kitchen, their kitchen now technically since he'd moved in last month, holding 2 mugs of coffee. "I'm not overthinking. I'm thinking the appropriate amount. About a presentation you've given 12 times. This one's different. It's the board, your board. Our board. You're director of strategy now. It's your board too." He set her coffee down, kissed the top of her head. "And you're going to be brilliant because you always are." She saved her work. "When did you become so confident in me?" "That conference call, 8 months ago. When I heard you talking to yourself about overthinking everything, and I thought, that's the most honest person I've ever heard. You're never going to let me forget that call, are you?" "Never." He grinned. "It's our origin story. Our origin story is a disaster. Our origin story is perfect." The board meeting went exactly how Elliot said it would. Amara presented the 5-year growth strategy. The board asked questions. She answered every single one. When she finished, the chairman, a man in his 60s who'd built 3 companies, nodded approvingly. "Strong work, Miss Collins. Elliot, you've got a good one here." "I know," Elliot said, looking at her. "Best decision I ever made was giving her a chance." Ragnar, sitting at the end of the table, muttered, "Best decision was finally admitting you loved her. But sure, let's go with hiring her." The room laughed. Amara's face got hot, but she was smiling. Sunday dinner at her parents' house had become a permanent fixture. Every week, no exceptions. Elliot helped her mama set the table without being asked. Dominic had stopped interrogating him and started asking his advice about investments. Her dad taught him how to properly season chicken. Nana had declared him keeper status and started knitting him a scarf. "Baby, pass the cornbread," her mama said. Amara handed it to Elliot, who passed it down. He fit here now, like he'd always been part of the family. After dinner, on the porch with sweet tea, her Nana said, "You know what I like most about him?" "What, Nana?" "He doesn't try to change you. He just loves you exactly as you are." Amara looked through the screen door. Elliot was inside, laughing at something her dad said, completely at ease. "Yeah," she said softly, "he does." Later that night, walking through Piedmont Park, the same path they'd walked 6 months ago when he'd told her he was terrified of screwing things up, Elliot stopped at their bench. "Remember this spot?" he asked. "How could I forget? This is where you told me you didn't know how to do real relationships, and you told me you were faking knowing what you were doing. We were a mess. We still are. We're just a mess together now." She laughed, sat down. He sat next to her. The sun was setting, again, like it had that first time, gold and pink painting everything soft. "Can I tell you something?" he said. "Always. I'm not scared anymore. Of screwing this up. Of losing you. Of any of it. No? No. Because I realized something. We're going to mess up. We're going to have hard days and stupid fights and moments where we don't understand each other. But we'll figure it out. Because we always do." She took his hand. "When did you get so wise?" "I had a good teacher. She's 25, brilliant, and has terrible taste in late-night food. Waffle House is a cultural institution. It's a health hazard. You love it. I love you. I tolerate Waffle House." She leaned her head on his shoulder, watched the sun sink lower. "I love you too," she said. "Even when you're being dramatic about hash browns." They sat there until the park lights came on, until the joggers switched to evening walkers, until the sky turned from gold to purple to dark. "Ready to go home?" he asked. "Yeah, home. Their apartment, their life, their mess." At the car, he opened her door, kissed her before she got in, quick and easy and familiar. "What was that for?" she asked. "Do I need a reason?" "No, but I like when you have one anyway. Because I can. Because you're mine. Because I spent 8 months falling in love with you, and now I get to just love you every day, without hiding or waiting or wondering." Her throat was tight. "That's a good reason." "I thought so." They drove home through Atlanta traffic. His hand found hers at every red light. In their apartment, she kicked off her heels. He loosened his tie. They moved around each other with the ease of people who'd learned each other's rhythms. "Movie?" he asked. "The one we've been trying to watch for 3 weeks?" "That's the one." They settled on the couch, her feet in his lap, his hand absently rubbing her ankle. 10 minutes in, she said, "Hey." "I'm really happy." He looked at her. "Yeah?" "Yeah. Me too." The movie played. Her phone buzzed with a text from Simone. His laptop dinged with an email he'd answer tomorrow. Normal, easy, right? She fell asleep before the movie ended. He covered her with a blanket. From that disaster conference call to here, falling asleep on their couch while he watched her like she was the best thing that ever happened to him. Maybe she was. Maybe they both were. 1 year later. The conference room was packed. Amara stood at the front presenting Warren Strategic Group's acquisition of a tech company in San Francisco, the biggest deal the company had ever made. Her deal, her strategy, her vision. Elliot sat in the back row watching. When she finished, the room erupted in applause. After everyone left, he walked to the front. "You know what I was thinking about during that presentation," he said. "How brilliant I am." "Well, yes, but also that conference call. The one where you thought I'd hung up." She groaned. "Are you ever going to stop bringing that up?" "Never. It's the best thing that ever happened to me." Me accidentally confessing my inexperience on a work call is the best thing. You being authentically yourself even when you thought no one was listening, that's the best thing. He pulled her close. "That's when I knew." "Knew what?" "That I was going to fall in love with you. I just didn't know it yet." She kissed him, right there in the empty conference room where she'd just closed a $50 million deal. "I love you," she said. "I love you too." Her phone buzzed. "Simone. Simone. I saw the deal announcement. You're a literal boss now." Simone. "Sunday dinner to celebrate?" Amara. "Obviously. Tell everyone 3 p.m. She showed Elliot the text. "Your family or mine?" he asked. She smiled. "Both. It's all family now." The end. So, what would you do if you accidentally confessed something personal to your boss? Tell us in the comments. We love hearing your stories. And if this romance made you smile, we have so many more waiting for you. Hit that subscribe button for weekly feel-good love stories that'll warm your heart. See you in the next one. Chew.